Hi everyone, this is Holly, one of the AmeriCorps members at Severson Dells Nature Center. Normally when the center is open, I take care of a lot of different projects, but mostly with education. So school programs, other programs with the Boys and Girls Club of Rockford, and many other things. But since the center is closed right now, I thought it would be a lot of fun to make some crafts with you guys. So today what we're going to do is make some flower pots out of newspaper, which is so fun. Our first one we have is going to be this one. This one is a little simpler to make, but still a lot of fun, which is great. The next one we're gonna make is this one. It's more like a cube. This one is a little bit more complex. It has some origami skills in it. So we're gonna make both of those so you guys can pick and choose which one you want to make. What you're going to need are some scissors. I just have some long scissors. You can use safety scissors, any scissors work. You're also going to need a can or a jar similar to the size of a can. I just have this one. Anything works really. And of course you're gonna need some newspaper. I have a whole newspaper, but you won't need a whole one. And so we are going to go ahead and get started. First, we will make the simpler one, and then second, we will make the cubed one. So I hope you guys are ready to have a lot of fun and make these flower pots with me. All right, so first we're going to make this cylinder type flower pot. All right, so first we're gonna make this cylinder flower pot. What you're going to need is a pair of scissors, the can, and a sheet of the newspaper. So when you open up the newspaper, that's all right that it ripped, you have this whole sheet. You only need half of it. So I'm just gonna cut right down this middle crease to only have half of it. And the cut doesn't have to be perfect. So now you have just half of one. What you're gonna do is go to the bottom, take your can and line it up down here, just along one edge. Now you can see that there's a lot of extra paper. You only need about an inch, inch and a half, maybe even 2 inches worth. So I'm just gonna make a little cut and then move my can so that way I can keep cutting. This cut doesn't have to be perfect like the last one. And I'm just gonna cut it. And then I can toss this over to the side and reuse for something else. Now I'm gonna put the can back where it was on that edge. And I'm going to gently roll the can in the paper. I don't wanna roll too tight, otherwise the can will get stuck and I don't want that. So I'm gonna kind of gently, loosely, not too tight, roll it up. Doesn't have to be perfect, but keep it as straight as you can. You can always edit while you go. So now you have this. And what you're gonna do is go to this side and you're just gonna kind of fold one piece of it in. You can kind of flatten up those edges. You can fold another piece of it in. And you can fold a final one in. You can kind of place that down, and if you want, you can try it another way. And then this, I try to tuck into the other edge. It stays a little bit better, but it's not gonna stay perfect. But now you have this, and the can should slide right out. I have to tug it a little bit, but be gentle, that way it doesn't rip the paper. So now you have this. It might come undone a little bit, which is all right, because I just stick my hand in it kind of like a fist and just kind of flatten it. And then we have this. It doesn't stand up perfectly, but once you put in some soil, it'll stand better, which is great. And there it is. Pretty easy, pretty simple. You can fold this end in to kind of keep it all together if you want. Just kind of like so. Again, this also does not have to be perfect. And that's the beauty of it. So that's an optional thing. Sometimes it keeps it together a little bit better. And there it is. There's our cylinder one. Like I said, it's going to come undone a little bit like this, but once you have soil, it'll keep it pretty steady. Next, we will make our cubed one, which is also a lot of fun. So I'm just going to take that other half of that sheet that we had cut, and I'll just use the other half. If you're starting from the beginning, kind of the same process of taking a full sheet and then cutting it down the middle to only have one half. So what I'm going to do is just fold it hamburger style, just kind of on that natural crease. Then I'm going to turn it and fold it hot dog style. And I'll open that back up, just like so. And you can see that crease. If you can't, you can always mark it with a little mark to help you study. You're going to take one corner. So this opens up here. That's all right that it's a little bit ripped. This one is the crease side. You're going to take that creased corner and fold it just to that middle crease. And you're going to do the same for the other side. Just like that. You're going to take one of these creased, or this open side. And you're going to fold it down here. Now, because mine's ripped, I got to fold kind of two of them, but that's all right. We'll manage. And I just put it down towards these flaps so it all kind of connects. And then you're going to take that and fold it over, just like that. You're going to flip it over. You're going to turn it on its side and take this edge and fold it towards that middle crease. Again, you can mark it with a marker or a colored pencil, or whatever you have, just to help you out if you need it. So you're just going to fold that over. Do the same for this side. And you have this. What you can do is you're going to fold this over. Sometimes it helps to do it this way. Fold it over just to those flaps again, just like we did on the other side. And fold it one more time. Now you have this flap with these little flaps. What you're going to do is take this flap and fold it into these two flaps here. This takes a little bit of maneuvering. You just kind of tuck it in there. It takes a little bit of playing with it, but you will get it eventually. So once it's in there, you can just kind of flatten it out, just like so. And now you have this. What you're going to do is take the pointy edge and fold it over once, undo, flip, and fold it over the other side. Just helps us with the bottom of our box. Flip it back. And you're going to take this point and fold it to this point. You're not going to crease it just yet, but you're just going to fold. And once you're like this, and you can kind of hold it with one finger, there's going to be this little edge. It's going to want to fold naturally here. And you only crease this little edge. You're not going to crease the whole thing. So once you creased it, you can just kind of let it go. And you have this. And now we'll kind of pop it open. That little edge that we had folded right there, it's going to naturally want to crease over. So it just kind of flaps over like that. You can kind of make your edges real nice. Put your fist in there just to kind of flatten it out. And it's perfect. It's not going to stand right away, you know, perfectly because it has this flap. But once you put soil in here, it will stand pretty nicely. And you have your little cube. All right, well now we have both a cube and a cylinder flower pot. I hope you had a really great time making these with me. What you can do with these is once you put your soil and your seed in them, you can water them. You're going to want to water them just based on whatever kind of plant it is. Some need more water than others. I would try to have a spray bottle if you can, because then you can spray just the soil and not all of the paper. If you don't have one, you just have to be careful when you're watering it. Now, you don't want to over soak it, otherwise all of the paper is going to get wet and fall apart. If that happens, I would just go ahead and transfer it right into that flower pot, the backyard, wherever you're putting this flower. This isn't meant to be the permanent pot. This is just to help start it. And then you can just put this whole thing into the permanent pot or flower garden, whatever you have. And this will actually just compost itself because it's just paper. So we're not using any tape or anything because that won't break down and it'll just hurt the soil and everything around it. But these are a lot of fun. I hope you had fun making these, and I hope you make some more. Bye.